Good morning. We have arrived in Hollingbourne for the Hollingbourne and Hucking circular route. Hollingbourne, he says, reading straight from Wikipedia, appears in the Domesday Book as Hollingbourne. It was held partly by the Archbishop of Christchurch, Canterbury, and partly by Bishop Odo of Bayeux. Its doomsday assets were 24 ploughs, 8 acres of meadow, woodland herbage worth 40 hogs, 2 mills, and 1 church. The church is All Saints Church, and in the grounds of All Saints Church you'll see many references, names, Culpeper. And looking into the history of the name Culpeper, they've got links with Leeds Castle. Sadly, it looks like time is taking the headstones. As you can see, there's lots of pitting. I'm not even sure if this was a Culpeper headstone, but going by the decay of the headstones, I would say that finding a Culpeper headstone is highly unlikely. So we've just made our way up from the train station, past the church where this walk officially starts, past the Dirty Habit pub, which is just a great name. And I wanted to point this part out. If you were going to do this walk, it looks like the footpath goes up along here, but in actual fact that goes to a gentleman's back garden. I know this because I went there last time. You need to go up this rather dangerous road, the North Downs Way. It's only a very, very short section of road, but it's very dangerous. This hill is a bit of a climb, as you can hear. My breathing's rather laboured, and I'm not sure that the footage is going to do it any justice, but there's a tiny little trail goes up this hill here, and that's the steepest part, or rather the steepest climb for today. We've obviously got to come down that hill, but we'll be coming down that elsewhere. There's a bird of prey right in the centre of shot at the moment, and it's just been hanging there for absolutely ages. It is completely still. It's quite incredible. Only 2/3 of the way up this hill, and already the views look very promising. I don't know whether this is called Hucking or Hucking, but I'm going to refer to it as Hucking, and I apologise in advance if I've got that wrong. But once you've climbed up the hill, you go through a little patch of woodland, then straight across this ridge where you get these stunning views. So once we've come up onto the ridge, you eventually come to this path, which is bordered by these trees, which breaks up the wind, and that's wonderful. But unfortunately, what it does do is block your view from the fantastic view. However, you do get little intermissions like this, which, as you can see, is pretty fantastic. So we're looking back towards the tiny village of Hollingbourne, the Domesday village Hollingbourne, and in the distance I'm sure that's the likes of maybe Kingswood, Oldcombe in the distance. The whole Weald of Kent stretches out before us. And on a day like today, just with an autumn nip in the air, there's nothing better. What a lovely way to spend a Sunday. Marvellous. It's all gone a little bit windy up here now, but I couldn't not take this footage. We've got Hollingbourne over there. Walked up from this little area here. It's almost a nothingness over there. You can barely see Hollingbourne. And as we come around, you'll be able to see that just in the distance, lots of houses start appearing, and this is getting into Maidstone area over here. Beerstead. But the views go on for miles. It's stunning, and this is all part of the North Downs. I bought a lifetime membership to the Woodland Trust. They do amazing work. You get a nice pin badge, and you get access to lots of lovely woodlands, and know that you're helping support the habitats of a lot of endangered species, which brings me nicely on to the Hucking estate. Hucking estate supports 10 threatened bird species. 21 species of butterfly have also been identified here, including the marbled white, which has been absent from Hucking for many, many years. Bats such as Daubenton's, the brown long-eared and natterers inhabit the ancient semi-natural woodland, using 2 old disused chalk pits to roost. The Woodland Trust goes on to say, when we purchased Hucking Estate, or Hucking Woodland, in 1997, the estate consisted of 72 hectares, or 180 acres, of woodland, and 158 hectares, 390 acres, of arable land. A further 47 hectares, 116 acres, of grassland and ancient woodland was purchased in 2017. Since 1997, in close consultation with local people, we've embarked upon a groundbreaking restoration project to convert part of the arable land back into native grassland and to plant other areas with native trees to protect the ancient woodland areas. We've also been working to link up many of these small areas of ancient woodland and retain areas of species-rich chalk grassland habitat where it is established. The Romans and then the Utes created farmsteads, villages and towns, evolved all the way through the Norman and medieval periods to become the villages and towns of today. Grazing livestock on the chalk hills and slopes kept them free of scrub, which led to the mix of chalk grassland and woodland that exists today, though arable intensification during the latter part of the 20th century resulted in the loss of many hedgerows and woodlands from the estate. So as I explained at the beginning of this walk, it's been a long time coming, this walk, over a month since I last filmed, but it's well worth the wait. This is absolutely stunning. The sheep are looking at me with great interest. They're wondering what the heck's going on here. I think they're quite used to the sound of planes, but they're not used to the sound of voices coming up on them. Wonderful, wonderful day. For thousands of years, people have made their homes along the spring line at the foot of the scarp. The Romans and then the Utes created farmsteads, villages and towns that stretched from Hollingbourne to Leeds, Langley and Broomfield. These villages survived and evolved all the way through the Norman and medieval periods to become the villages and towns of today. These people had a great influence on the landscape, and it was the introduction of livestock such as sheep that really altered the countryside in this area. And as a monument to this, we see the shepherd sitting alone in the field, looking out across the Weald. I was thinking about different places to go and see, or to bring you, and this particular walk, I normally call it the Triple H, Headcorn, Hollingbourne and Hucking, but the walk from Headcorn to Hollingbourne it's quite a long walk, and it's not very pleasant. It's a lot of roads, and those roads are very fast, and they're windy back roads, so you're jumping out of the way of traffic. So yeah, getting the train over to Hollingbourne today is definitely doable. There's not a huge amount of places to park in Hollingbourne, but yeah, I'm sure you'll find somewhere. It's just lovely. Get yourself out and amongst it. We're in the late 5th century. The Romans have left Britain, but other people have taken their place in the southeast of England. Saxons, Angles and the Utes have crossed over from northern Europe, but it was the Utes that settled in the area where you're standing now. They were farmers and brought pigs or boar with them. During the autumn they liked to fatten them on acorns, and this meant driving them along routes towards central and high Weald parts of Kent. These tracks or droveways become permanent routes, such as the byway along the eastern edge of Hucking estate where we've just been, and often became worn down and sunk into the landscape. Farmed boar has been used for meat, hide, and the hairs from their neck were even used in the manufacture of toothbrushes. But this was stopped in the 1930s, you'll be pleased to hear. Wild boar disappeared from Britain during medieval times, and it was not until the 1980s that boar farming came back. Occasional escapes mean that we now have populations of wild boar in Kent, East Sussex, Dorset, Devon and the Forest of Dean. Now in the past I have walked up into the woodlands over there. You can obviously see the trail go straight through, and again you can see the colours coming through the trees here. A couple of weeks time this will be even more stunning. It's just beautiful. Once you've got to the end of that droveway, there's a sharp left taking you uphill into the woodlands, and these are ancient woodlands and partially replanted, as I previously explained. It's a fantastic woodland to be in. It feels ancient. You can just hear the acorns dropping from the trees. You can get to understand why the wild boar were driven through here. So you would have come out here. It's quite an uphill climb there, but it obviously comes straight out onto this plateau, and you might be feeling a little bit tired by now, but fear not. I don't know whether the camera's going to pick it up, because just cresting the hill there, they know their audience, because right on the first thing you see just on the, as you crest this little hillock, is a big sign painted onto the chimney stack: pub. Superb. You have to look back almost 10,000 years to find some of the earliest occupiers of the North Downs. In these days the countryside was nearly all woodland, with only a few natural clearings, perfect for hunting. The most skilled people living here could make tools and weapons out of flint, found all around this area. They would sharpen the flint using a hammerstone and then mount it into wood, antler or even bone. These were then often used for cutting down trees, slicing up meat and scraping animal skins clean. By using this tool they could clear areas of woodland to help them hunt. This is the very start of how and why people started to clear woodland areas. To give you an idea of scale, you can see a group of people just disappearing behind the hedgerow there. But we're going up over there. So we've made our way up across the fields, and then you pop out onto a road, and short section of road later brings you out to let me just try and get behind get the sun blocked out there, the lovely St Margaret's Church. But yeah, it's hard for me to explain how big this woodland is and what a magnificent area it is, and it's probably best if we go up and take a look above the canopy and just have a quick look around up here. It's a shot we don't often see, and it's so easy to kind of dismiss the enormity of something that we're walking through. But look at this. It's an absolute jewel of a place. So you can come and spend a real good long day. This is a short walk, but there's so much to see and experience. There's lots of people walking their dogs and just having a good time of it, really. So if you do get a chance to come up here, come. It's absolutely what the doctor ordered. So once you've come out of the woodland, you need to follow this track for about 1 kilometre. It pops out on the road and you'll find yourself walking past Hollingbourne House. And it's a very busy road, as you can see now. So what I like to do, considering there's not a lot of space, is have something like this, or like this, just so that you can forewarn people, because we're going to be walking down here just a short way and then cutting back into the woodlands. That really was a short section, but like I said before, definitely worthwhile having something to alert drivers that you're on the road. So we come back through here. Looks just like a little bit of kind of muddy nonsense, however not 20 yards and you're treated once again to some stunning views. Enjoy. We're going to be walking down there. This is now heading back. You've come off of the North Downs Way and you're heading back down towards Hollingbourne. So that was Hucking, and the only thing that I can show you towards the end here, and I'll probably put a little clip just after here, is of a mural regarding the Pilgrim's Way. I've walked the Pilgrim's Way from, well, all the way from start to finish. Really good walk. This is an example of what you'll see on that walk, and parts of the Pilgrim's Way will be down in the valley as I'm explaining. My advice would be to use the North Downs Way as your footpath and just use the Pilgrim's Way as a guide, because the Pilgrim's Way itself, if you was to follow it, its true path, takes you through some really admittedly old towns and villages, but the traffic can be really, really scary. So get yourself up onto the North Downs and you won't be disappointed. Thank you very much for watching. Mural coming up if it's not already on screen. Sorry it's been such a long time since I've posted. I'll try and do better. But I hope you've enjoyed it. Let me know down in the comments. I've filmed a lot today, so hopefully I've managed to condense it down to something a bit more bite-sized, and you're still here at the end, and if you are, you're one of the legends. So leave a little comment for me just to let me know that you made it this far. I'm going to go and get my train, and thanks once again for watching. I've enjoyed it. I hope you have too. See you on the next one, wherever it may be. I have no idea. I've stopped making plans now. Take it easy. See you.